Hello.
Welcome back.
How you doing?
Great.
It's been a wild ride so far.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It feels really weird to be getting back into into things, but in a good way. Like it just, I don't know. It's just becoming more of a routine again.
Yes, definitely getting to be a routine again. I'm definitely back into story mode of like searching out.
Yeah, I know
all kinds of stuff.
You
and
texted me the other day. He's like, "Yeah, I'm like 5 fucking episodes ahead." I was like, "God damn it, I'm so behind."
Well, there's multiple reasons for that. One is when I'm sitting there on the couch watching TV at night with the wife. I just kind of think of different things. And then currently, we haven't talked about this on here, but I have back issues.
Oh, yeah.
Sciatic nerve pain. And so I'm doing a lot of like resting between doing stuff. And so I just like, what am I going to do? Watch TV? Okay, well, there's only so much TV you can really watch, honestly.
That's fair.
And then plus the shows and movies I want to watch, I want to watch with the wife too. We want to watch together. So I wait, So then I just end up doing stories.
Yeah, that's fair.
Putting stories together and pictures and all that. The other reason would be I'm trying to get ahead because at the same time, I don't know when, but there's potential surgery coming up.
Oh, shit.
And I will be out for at least a week.
Okay.
I might be able to walk and hobble into here and sit down.
Nah, we'll just
read.
We'll just go to the couch. I'll just fucking. If you're all asleep and drugged up on the bed, I'll just go into your room and just be like, "Okay, tell me your story." let's do it.
Well, that is where we have talked about having a stand-in.
Oh yeah, bacon.
Yes. That's why we actually brought that up. Because I'm trying to plan out ahead for if it comes to that point and I have surgery and I'm incapacitated, not able for a week. The recovery process is longer than that, but the first week is really
is what's gonna
the really groggy time with the pills and everything.
Okay.
So, there's that.
Fair. Oh man.
But that's why I'm trying to stay up on a lot of that.
I'm complete opposite on that though. I am kind of like, the week of, gotta get this shit done. Like one episode at a time. just gotta fucking take it just one step, and that's how I've been doing.
And the other thing is, I try to get like 2 or 3 loaded up on my little guy here.
Yeah.
Fancy sticker.
Yeah, I saw that. You went, oh. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. And then I read through them a couple times. And then I actually can edit it on here if I'm reading through it. I'm like,
doesn't sound quite
right, or like the way it looks on the computer and the way it looks on here, completely different for some reason. So then I do the page breaks and I like group stuff together a little bit, makes it easy.
Yeah, I can understand that. Do you know who texted me last night? Just out of the blue. I haven't talked to them in a minute at least.
Jackass?
No, actually, he texted me a while ago, but no, closer.
Well, I would say Nick, but you live in his house, so
yeah, that's true. No, Rain texted me last night. Yeah, I know, out of the blue. It was really
interesting.
It caught me off guard. Last night, and she texted me like later in the evening, and she was all like, "Hey, did you know that you just popped up on my TikTok page?"
Oh.
I was like, "What?" Oh, she was like, "Yeah, you're getting quite popular," and I was like, "Oh, cool. I don't think so, but whatever." And then she was like, "I was trying to give you a compliment, dummy," and I was like, "Oh, Okay. I don't know how to take these. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, she's kind of weird at giving compliments sometimes too.
No, I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in a fucking minute. I hope she's doing good.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good.
That's good.
From the last time I talked to her.
It was just so random, which reminds me, we should make TikToks.
I keep hearing that.
Oh, from who?
Well, I think our Techie Tech guy mentioned it once, and I thought about it too, and
Yeah.
So yeah.
See, I just, just putting it out there.
Not sure about that whole format.
I'm
still, not that I'm against it. I'm just still.
You're still trying to figure out.
Still learning it and figuring it out. And
I'm still.
There's so much these days.
No, I know.
So,
That's the weird thing about doing like anything social media wise. If you don't have like a presence on like certain things,
almost everything,
then like it kind of.
Yeah, the funny thing is, it used to be that like Facebook was the place you needed your presence.
Yeah.
There for a while. That was it. And then it seems like it kind of transitioned a little bit to like Instagram, Twitter's where you needed your presence, and then now it seems like it's TikTok and
now it's just like, yeah, you have to maintain a decent schedule with like, especially if you're doing like YouTube or like Twitch or TikTok and stuff like that. Like those are fucking no. it's interesting to me of how many people, because I mean, I guess if you really think about it, like multiple platforms equals multiple chances for people to
get you out there a little bit more, because one person might look at you on, just like with the audio of our podcast, we upload
on
it
Anchor
and it goes everywhere, all these different podcast platforms via Spotify, Apple,
and then Stitcher, I think.
Stitcher, and there's the one that I listen to podcasts on, that Castbox.
Oh, Castbox,
that we are also on.
Yeah.
And so it just
that's crazy.
Kind of gotta be everywhere, so that way you get more chances of more listeners.
It's just crazy how that all works.
It's intriguing.
It is intriguing. I think the more time that passes by, the better that we're gonna get at doing it.
Yeah. No, definitely, for sure.
And the more that we're gonna be able to do it. By the way, I wanted to propose something to listeners.
Okay. Yeah. What do you got?
This is something that I mentioned to you about that I wanted to do. And I'm gonna make a post on it. I was gonna do that tonight, so that way it was gonna be the start of the week. Anybody that has any sort of talent in art or anything like that, it doesn't matter if you don't think that it's great. Let us be the judge of that. I and T would love to see. I want to see, and you want to see some fucking fan art of some cryptids.
Yes, dude, I would love to see some fan art. That would be awesome. Our whole Fearful crew would love to see them.
Oh, 100%.
Our tech guy and everybody involved in our little production here.
No, exactly. That's just it. Do you have the skills?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a stick figure of a cryptid, whatever.
Fucking.
We won't.
We won't discriminate
against any stick figures.
But we will be okay. And here's what we did talk about. We will be judging on which one's our favorite, and that person will be sent a sticker. That's right. You'll be getting a sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. No. Please send it into either the. We have the email, right?
I don't know. Did you ever set up the email?
No, but we do have the we have the Facebook.
Yes, we have Facebook. Send it through Facebook.
That would probably be a lot easier, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can take a picture of it with your phone and just send it through our Facebook Messenger to us.
Yeah. No, so that is something that we've been discussing.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a great idea. It'll be fun. Get listeners involved.
Yeah,
hopefully.
And definitely, and if you got kids, have them draw something.
Yeah.
Even if it's a made-up cryptid, like like a scary monster or something like that.
That would be the best. If your kids made up a cryptid of their very own.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
And a little story to go with it about it. Like
a little description.
Yeah. A description of the cryptid and its powers.
Its fucking inhabitant. Yep. No, I fucking love that. That
would be phenomenal.
We should do that as like a separate thing. like you know what I mean? Like have your kids.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we could do something like that. But
no, for right now, drawing with the name of what it is, and send it to us.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Totally down. And
I'd love to see pictures of listeners' favorite cryptid.
Oh, 100%.
That'd be awesome.
That would be absolutely amazing. Now, speaking of the spoops and the things of today, what do you got for us on the horror fact of the week?
Oh, I'm not ready for that.
You're not?
No, I'm not ready.
Wait, there isn't one?
Oh, there is one. But first...
Is it hiding? What do you got there?
Wanted to share.
What is that?
This is a little...
cryptid crate.
Little bag.
Little bag?
Game. It's the monthly cryptid crate.
Okay.
So I just wanted to kind of...
You haven't opened it up yet?
I've glanced at it enough to throw it in the bag.
Okay.
So this is a little tote bag that came with it. That was one of the things in the crate.
Okay, looking good.
We have a...
The hell is that?
Meditating Bigfoot.
Meditating Bigfoot.
Yes.
That's kind of cutie.
We also have a book, the Cryptid Zodiac Mini Monthly Planner.
Oh, okay.
It's got, it's a calendar, but then it also has the zodiac symbols as cryptids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I fucking love that. That's nifty. That is pretty cool. Ooh.
We also have Steve.
I just wanted to see.
These are Meditating Bigfoot on socks.
Meditating Bigfoot on socks.
Yes. Check those out.
I was just looking for something. There we go. I wanted to see what cryptid I was.
Okay,
for my
so
zodiac. I'm the Jersey Devil.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You wanna pop them up there? So nice.
Oh god, I'm trying to sort of angle.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I think mine is a bunch of ghosts.
So you get the meditating
Bigfoot. I don't know why it does not really look like Bigfoot, but
no, it looks like a goatee with a mohawk.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, what the hell is this shit?
What the fuck?
Oh.
It's weird.
Mine is the Fresno Night Crawlers.
Oh, okay.
Might have to do a story on them one of these days. I have no idea who they are, but there's also it's very hard to see because it's like white on white. A meditating Bigfoot sticker. So it's basically this guy.
I was gonna say I can't even tell what the fuck that was for a second. But oh, I see the cutout. Okay.
Yeah. It's not
that was
easy to see.
Terrible paper choice,
right?
It's fucking...
Some lip balm, sheep squatch lip balm.
Is it like sheepskin condoms or
sheep squatch? Never heard of him? We might have to look into that one.
That's interesting.
And then last but not least, we have a from Outer Realms Candles.
Okay.
We have a meditating Mothman candle.
Oh god, it's probably gonna smell like ass. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. These
Come on,
meditating. Oh no, no,
No?
no! It smells like Carmax. I don't like that. No.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
well,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Not,
I'm
not for
judging.
everybody. I get it. I get it. And
Ah.
that's what came in this month's cryptid crate. Kind of, like I said.
I like the little Sasquatch. I like the socks. I like the sticker and the book.
We'll leave our little meditating Sasquatch out on the front there.
I feel like I'm gonna turn my back and he's just gonna light the candle. He's just gonna go like, "Yeah, take that, motherfucker."
So
no, those are really cool. So that was from this month.
that was this month's. Yes.
Oh, that's really nice. I like the little tote bag.
Little grocery store tote bag.
Especially since, you know what, nowadays we have to pay for plastic bags.
8 cents a baggie.
Yeah, so that's better. I mean, you get a tote bag.
Reusable tote bag, you know.
You can't go wrong.
Every month I get something interesting that I'm like, oh, that'll be useful.
Yeah, like the hodag.
Ho ho ho.
Motherfucker. Oh, man.
So, now with that said, yes, I am ready for all right, well, buddy. So, you ready for the horror fact?
I am.
We're going to be talking about Hellraiser. The movie was originally named Hellbound Heart after the novella. However, the studio didn't care much for this name, believing that it implied romance before landing on Hellraiser. Several other names were suggested, including Sadomasochist from Beyond the Grave and What a Woman Will Do for a Good Fuck. Yeah, I've read some of these names and I was like, what the fuck? Also, 2 of the 4 Cenobites, the Chatterer and Butterball, originally had dialogue. However, the prosthetics used for their costumes made it almost impossible for the actors to speak audibly. Their lines were given to Deep Throat, who was later named as Female Cenobite because Deep Throat was deemed too sexual. Huh, go figure, huh? And Pinhead. The extra lines fleshed out Pinhead as a character, transforming him from a mere monster and set him apart as the leader of the Cenobites. The aesthetic design of the Cenobites was inspired by S&M, punk rock, and most famously, the Catholic Church. Costume designer Jane Wildgoose wasn't given specific design instructions, but instead prompts such as repulsive glamour. She encapsulated the 3 main costume themes perfectly in Pinhead, who was originally named the Priest. The audience applied the name Pinhead to Doug Bradley's character, which really irritated Clive Barker, because that was not the name of his character. Doug Bradley played the lead Cenobite Pinhead from the 1987 original movie and reprised his role in every sequel until Hellraiser Revelations in 2011. At a horror convention in Sheffield in 2016, Bradley told the crowd that he refused the role in 2011 because he took offense to the contract, which included a confidentiality agreement that he was required to sign. This had never been asked of him before, and he took exception to the suggestion that he was not trusted after decades of loyalty to the series and the studios.
God damn. So he just straight up fucking... I mean, I get it. That's...
Yeah, I mean, the studios were asking for something that
shouldn't have been asked.
Shouldn't have been an issue.
No.
I mean, I get it. At some point, you know, like, certain actors from studios and stuff are asked to not talk about film.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
because they spoil it.
kind of like Marvel.
That's where I was going with that one. But I mean, the fact that he'd been playing this character for so long, he had never done anything of the sorts. All the sequels and stuff, and now all of a sudden, like a longtime mainstay actor, just
fucking
yeah.
No, so weird.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh man, and in 2011, that film, it was weird.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I didn't either. It's not one of my favorites.
From when Doug Bradley stopped playing Pinhead, all the sequels that happened after that, they sucked.
Yeah,
in my
opinion.
But there is a new one coming out.
I did hear, and isn't he?
She.
Oh, it's gonna be the female Pinhead. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Which, if you followed any of the comics and stuff, and I believe in the book series, I don't know. I've never read it. I probably should. But I believe at some point, Pinhead turns over the reins to another Cenobite, and she becomes the new leader. Maybe that's where they're going with it. I don't know. I haven't read much into it, but I'm excited for it.
I've seen pictures of like the female Pinhead. She do be looking good. That's all I gotta say.
There's actually a lot of revamped or continuation of different horror stories coming out this year.
Yeah.
With Hellraiser, there's the prequel to all the Predator movies coming out.
Oh shit, yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
They're going.
It's a sequel.
Oh man, it's a sequel
to the original one.
Are they pulling a Halloween?
Yes, they're pulling a Halloween.
Oh, none of these other movies counted.
So it'll be interesting to see.
That's god damn though.
Well, like with Halloween, I get it. Because the original came back and he was like, "That's not where my vision was headed," and so he's like, "No, this is how I play it out."
Yeah,
I get that.
And now the last one's coming out this year, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is. It's gonna be exciting.
I don't know. I just I liked it, but I'm also a little disappointed in it.
Really?
A little, just like a tad bit. I feel like there's a couple things that didn't sit well with me how they did, and I felt like they could have done a little bit better. Like, and some of the acting in it wasn't like on par with like the original.
The original's hard to beat. I mean, honestly.
No, I get that. I know.
But I do get what you're saying. There are aspects of the film that I was kind of like, but overall.
Yeah.
Overall. And anytime I look at a sequel or a remake or reimagining of a character like that or whatever, I always try to just go into it with an open mind.
Fair.
And especially with remakes, I try to go into it with an open mind and not bank so much on, well, originally it was this way, and you totally fucked it up. Like...
So you're not trying to look at it with nostalgia?
Yeah, I try to appreciate the film for what it is.
Okay.
Obviously, there are some films that I have seen, and I'm like, you
son
fucked
of a bitch.
up the character. Like, if you could stay true to the character's origins, the rest of the story I don't care about.
That's fair.
Like, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
They basically took, when they did the remake, they basically took the original 1, 2, 3 and made it one, essentially.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
They streamlined the part about his mom, and then 3 kind of thing. Where he got the hockey mask. And
can you agree with me on something? Like, especially with like 80s movies. Do you think when they like run out of ideas with like a horror character, they just send it off to space? Like you got Jason X.
Oh yeah. There was a long line of that. I mean, if you look back, there was Hellraiser went to space.
Yep. Leprechaun
went to space, and the series kind of died.
Yep.
Forever and ever until finally somebody picked it back up, and we got
redid it.
No, they didn't redo it necessarily right away. We got Leprechaun in the Hood
Yeah.
with Ice-T. That was fucking awesome.
And then,
You know, yeah, Jason Goes to Space. So many films. You look at that and you see, and 99% of the time, that was the final film of that franchise.
that was supposed to be.
They go to space and it's like, okay, we're done.
Whee!
It was, yeah, where franchises went to die.
God damn. I mean, it's just so it's so weird.
It is weird.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like go off of.
No, I just recently watched yesterday the horror documentary In Search of Darkness.
Yeah.
Part 2. Watched that yesterday. Some really good films in there. Some I'd never even heard of, which is
Oh shit.
kind of surprising, but I got new list of some movies to watch, and
Hell yeah.
but it was interesting because the horror documentary, it just covers the 80s. That's it. Horror movies in the 80s.
And there's a lot too if you really think about it.
There is. I mean, this is the second one in the series of documents. There's going to be a third one.
Aren't they like a few hours long?
They're 4 hours long, each
Yeah.
one. And they talk about
By year or by?
each one, yeah, covers from 80 to 89.
Okay.
So both 1 and 2 covered from 80 to 89, but they covered different movies.
That's nice.
Because in the 80s, I mean, there was this explosion
Of
of
horror.
horror movies, and some good ones, some really good ones. I mean, we got Poltergeist, we got
Alien.
Alien. Well, Alien was 79.
It was 79.
Yeah, I want to say it was 79. It was
Yeah, but
it was
like-
pre 80s.
But like,
But I mean, if you looked at what came out in the 80s, though, actually, you got the Friday 13th spin-offs, the Michael Myers spin-offs, Freddy Krueger, Critters.
yeah.
You got all these phenomenal blockbuster horror films that came out in the 80s, and then you have all these B-movie ones. And there's like a million of them.
Dear God.
Because there's like House 2. Yeah, what was one of the other ones I saw?
A Puppet Master.
Oh, Puppet Master. I love Puppet Master.
Puppet Master was a shit.
Charles Band.
Mm-hmm.
Full Moon Entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, Full Moon Entertainment did a lot of cool.
Yeah, I love their stuff. As campy and silly as some of it is, I love it.
Yeah, no, it's
like
pretty
it's just
entertaining.
nostalgia. All I mean, the Puppet Master movies. That was my best friend and I's growing up. Those were our go-to movies.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah. If we couldn't decide on a movie,
Puppet Master.
Puppet Master. Any of the Puppet Master sequels, like
You gotta fucking love it.
you could have picked any of them and it would have been good.
Does Gremlins fall in this?
Gremlins does fall on it.
Yep.
Gremlins, Ghoulies, Hobgoblins.
Ghoulies was the shit.
Ghoulies was the shit. Did you know that when the sequel Ghoulies Go to College, Kane Hodder was in?
Nuh-uh.
Yep. He was
Okay.
a stunt coordinator and he had a small part.
Was it like a janitor or something like that?
Yeah.
It was?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
That's fucking cool that he had a little cameo in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Shit. God, there's so many good ones.
There are. There's so many good ones. Little Shop of Horrors was in there as
Oh.
well. The one with Rick Moranis.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. It's fucking crazy.
So many good.
I like how we just jumped on a topic like that. A little fucking horror rant. That was some extra content right there.
Bonus content.
Bonus content.
For $59.95, you can get the rest of the conversation.
Well, damn. Speaking of which, are you ready to hear what I got for you this week?
How many stories you got for me?
I got 2.
2.
Yeah.
Huh?
A little bit different.
Nice. Same continent?
Nope.
Not even the same continent. Wow. Awesome.
Wait. I mean, both of them are in the same continent, but not the continent that I usually. It's not Japan.
No,
It's in
I was
America.
just asking if they were in the same continent.
No,
The stories.
The stories, yes.
Not your usual go-to place. Switching it up
No,
on
I'm just
me,
kidding. No, they're not. I'm lying. I'm trying to throw you off my scent. I know. I wanted to surprise you today.
Well, I have 3 short stories. They ought to be really good. I know that when I was reading these, it's really weird. It doesn't happen to me very often. But every once in a while, you just read something or watch something, you kind of just get the chills, goosebumps almost, kind of. I had that reading through some of these. Like, and it's not like the room was cold or anything like that.
No, it's just creepy.
Normal every day. And it's not that I was creeped out by any means. Like, I could read this shit right before I go to bed and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I would finish reading them, put my stories together, read through them again, and just chills. Really weird.
Put a sweater on.
I had a sweater on, actually.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
There goes my plan. Oh shit. Are you ready, good sir?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. So let's get to it.
Oh yeah. So the first one I got for you is called The Bunny Man, and don't you worry about it. Often with urban legends, there's a story and there's the truth. That's what makes the tale of the Fairfax County's Bunny Man so eerie, so bizarre, and so downright creepy. While there are several variations of the urban legend splashed across the furthest reaches of the internet, the true story of the Bunny Man may actually be even weirder. A creepy guy on a Halloween dressed oddly, throwing hatchets at people. It's just too bizarre to possibly be true, says Fairfax County archivist Brian Conley, but it is. For decades, goddamn, it's like four decades, the legend of the Bunny Man has captivated Northern Virginia fear seekers. Connolly first heard the tale when he was an area youngster in the 1970s. It showed up in the 1973 University of Maryland undergrad's class paper. It has been told and retold by local teens for years. While the legend has evolved and changed through the years, it follows these lines. In the early 20th century, deep in the woods that divided the town of Clifton from Fairfax Station, there was an asylum for the insane. At some point, the asylum closed and the residents were piled into a bus bound for Lorton Prison. On the way there, the bus swerved and crashed. Many of the convicts escaped, but were caught, save one, Douglas Griffin. While searching for him, the authorities found a trail of half-eaten, gutted bunnies, with many hanging from what was then called Fairfax Station Bridge. For months, the police searched for Griffin, but he was never found. Then, on Halloween night, several teens were hanging out under the bridge. At the stroke of midnight, they were attacked. The next morning, they were found hanging from the bridge, gutted like bunnies. To this day, it's said that if you are at Bunny Man Bridge at midnight on Halloween night, you too will meet the fate of those teens and rabbits. It is a hell of a good piece of creative writing, Conley says, but about what he thinks is the most widely known version of the story. An account that follows this narrative from Timothy Forbes on castleofspirits.com. He specifically cites historical inaccuracies for why the account is false, like that Lorton Prison wasn't open until 1916. There's no Fairfax court record of Douglas Griffin, and the old Clifton Library where the article's author tells skeptics evidence exists never even existed. A constant trickle of Bunnyman questions re-engaged Conley's interest in the story. I got tired of saying I don't know, he explains. It took nearly a decade of research, but in 2002 he published what has to be considered the foremost paper on the subject. What he discovered is that the real story is even more bizarre than the legend. On October 18th, 1970, the Washington Post reported that Air Force Academy cadet Robert Bennett and his fiancée were sitting in a car on the 5400 block on Guinea Road in Fairfax around midnight near Bennett's uncle's house when a man dressed in a white suit with the long bunny ears appeared. He yelled at the couple that were on private property, and he had their tag number. Then he threw a wood handle hatchet through the front car window. Luckily, neither of them was hurt. 2 weeks later, the Bunny Man showed up again, about a block away from his original sighting. According to a October 31st Washington Post article, private security guard and Paul Phillips spotted the man beast on the front porch of the new but unaccompanied house. He was holding an axe in the piece. Phillips recounted what happens next. I started talking to him, and that's when he started chopping. Taking several swings at a pole on the porch, he threatened Phillips, all you people trespass around here, if you don't get out of here, I'm going to bust you on the head. Connolly continued to dig. He tracked down the police and investigation reports that confirmed that the Fairfax County Police looked for a male in his late teens or early 20s dressed as a bunny. But the police were unable to turn up anything conclusive writing after a very extensive investigation into this and all the other cases on the same nature. It is still unsubstantiated as to whether or not there is really a white rabbit. The police deemed the case inactive. Connolly was able to track down the still married couple that had the hatchet thrown at them. While they didn't particularly want to talk about the 45-year-old incident, they did confirm it happened. They shared vivid details, Conley says, as did the aunt who helped them after the incident. She remembered very clearly combing glass from the shattered glass window out of this girl's hair, says Conley. To this day, no one knows who the Bunny Man was or what motivated him. Conley knows that any theory he has is pure speculation, but he thinks it could be related to an elderly man, a curmudgeon, says Conley, who owned the property that the couple was supposedly trespassing on. Although the man had died a year or two earlier, maybe a younger family member took up his cause. Perhaps it was just one person who didn't like the development in the region going on at that time. Additionally, if the Bunny Man was in his early 20s in 1970, then he would likely still be alive today, unless he got careless with his hatchet jokes, Conley. As of this writing, no one has come forward and admitted to being the notorious Bunny Man. Today, the story of the Bunny Man has overtaken the actual truth. There was no murder, no asylum for the insane, and not even a bridge. Conley thinks the Fairfax Station Bridge, which Google Maps now even calls Bunny Man Bridge, was nothing more than a nearby local teen party spot and a creepy-looking and potentially dangerous bridge that got incorporated into the story. Even the town of Clifton has fully embraced the legend with t-shirts and a haunted Halloween attraction. While the legends may be more horrific, frightening, and blood-curdling, the truth is just as bizarre. If there was ever a story that was really ripe to grow and get a little bit strange, it has to be the Bunny Man, says Conley. It's our own homegrown urban legend. That was the first one.
Wow.
It's interesting though, right? Like, dude,
that is very interesting. Did you know that there's a movie?
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the movie?
Bunny Man.
I did not
and
know
Bunny
that.
Man 2.
Did
I have
know
not
that.
seen them. I have just seen the title in passing, looking, scrolling through.
So it kind of makes me wonder,
So
what story would the movie be based off of?
yeah, I'm curious now, and I want to watch it. Like I never wanted to watch it before because I was like,
It kind of looked dumb.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now I'm intrigued.
To see what
Yeah.
it's all about. Okay, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Uh huh.
The next story I have, you're gonna recognize. And
Okay. Well, eventually, between the podcasts that we listen to, because
yeah,
we listen to a couple different horror podcasts and stuff. Some of these stories kind of get retold.
so
It happens.
this story is based out in France.
Maybe.
Oui, oui. Bête de Javadon. Between 1764 and 1767, a mysterious creature called the Beast ravaged the rural region of Gévaudan, France. About 100 men, women, and children reportedly fell victim to La Bête de Gévaudan. While many French at the time presumed the Beast to be a wolf, and many modern scholars agree, some have suggested that the Beast may not have been a wolf at all. So what is it? The first recorded fatal attack of the Beast occurred on June 30th, 1764, when a 14-year-old shepherdess, Jeanne Boulet, tended a flock of sheep. Bullet was not the creature's first victim, as historian J.M. Smith writes in Monsters of the Javadan. About 2 months prior, a young woman tending a cattle was attacked by a creature like a wolf, yet not a wolf, but escaped because the herd defended her. The attacks continued through the summer into the autumn. According to George M. Eberhardt's 2002 book, Mysterious Creatures, A Guide to Cryptozoology. France was in a slump at the time. On the heels of the 7 Years' War, the nation had lost battles to Prussia and the British, and Louis the 15th had lost overseas colonies. The beast offered a perfect foil to rally around, and there was no dearth of reports in the press about encounters with the animal. The Bete Feroce, which is ferocious beast, attacked and partially ate women and the young, according to the reports, but lone adult men were also targets. There were so many attacks that some speculated that there were in fact 2 or more beasts. The terrified populace of Javadan did not sit idle. The individual stories of bravery captivated the public. As Smith writes, bounties were offered and hunters combed the countryside looking for the creature. On October 8th, 1764, hours after a mauling, the beast was seen at a Chateau de la Baume, stalking a herdsman. Hunters followed the animal into the estate's woods and flushed the animal into the open. The hunter shot a volley of musket fire into the creature, but after a fall, the beast rose and ran off. Even children were celebrated for taking on the beast. On January 12, 1765, the beast attacked 10-year-old Jacques Portefax and a group of 7 friends ranging from ages 8 to 12. However, Portefax led a counterattack with sticks driving off the creature. The children were rewarded by Louis XV, and Portefax was given an education paid by the crown. The children's heroics prompted the court of King Louis XV to send royal hunters to destroy the beast. There was now a 6,000 livre bounty on the creature's head. The story of the beast, meanwhile, was spreading and covered in newspapers from Boston to Brussels, becoming one of the history's first media sensations. Among the most notable tales of bravery was 19 or 20-year-old Marie Jenny Valet was attacked by the beast on August 11, 1765, while crossing the river Desgres with her sister. Armed with a bayonet affixed to a pole, Valet impaled the beast's chest. The creature got away, but the valet became known as the Amazon and the Maid of Javadan. On September 20, 1765, Francis Antoine, the king's 71-year-old gun-bearer, and his nephew shot a large wolf near Abbey and Chazes, which was assumed to be the beast. Antony was awarded with money and titles, and the corpse of the animal stuffed and sent to the royal court. I can't talk. But attacks started again in December, according to the account in the 1898 volume of the Parison Illustrated Review. This time the beast seemed different, at least behaviorally, where before the creature had been afraid of the castle, this time it showed no fear. Was this a second beast? The royal court chose to ignore these new attacks, insisting that Antony had killed the creature. Finally, a sudden outbreak of attacks in early June 1767 compelled a local nobleman and the Marquis d'Aperture to organize a hunt on the June 19th. One of the hunters, a local man named Jean Chastel, shot a wolf on the slopes of Mount Mochette. An autopsy of the animal reviewed human remains inside, and the animal had non-wolf characteristics as described by witnesses. The attacks ended, but while it was assumed that the beast Chastel bagged was the beast, doubts remained that it was indeed a wolf. The beast was consistently described by eyewitnesses as something other than a typical wolf. It was as large as a calf or sometimes a horse. Its coat was reddish-gray with long, strong panther-like tail. The head and legs were short-haired and the color of a deer. It had a black stripe on its back and talons on its feet. Many drawings of the beast at the time endow it with lupine characteristics. Witnesses described the beast as an ambush hunter, which stalked its prey and seized it by the throat. The wounds found on the bodies were typically to the head and limbs, with the remains of 16 victims reportedly decapitated. The creature prowled in the evenings and in the mornings. Historians, scientists, and pseudoscientists and conspiracy theorists have all proposed theories about what the beast was. Among the suspects, Eurasian wolf, an armored war dog, a striped hyena, a lion, some kind of prehistoric predator, a werewolf, a dog-wolf hybrid, and a human. Those were all the theories. Of the candidates, the most fanciful is the werewolf. Also unrealistic is that the beast was an extinct prehistoric predator such as a bear dog, dire wolf, or hyandon. The idea that such a large animal would evade detection for thousands to millions of years is just too implausible, Smith argues. Others have suggested that a human serial killer may be responsible for the attacks. Many of the beast's victims were reportedly to be decapitated, something few animals could do. While it was unlikely that a killer would roam about for victims in broad daylight wearing a bestial costume, those who support this theory believe that the human killer used an animal to carry out the crimes. What was the animal? Some have speculated that it was an armored war dog, which explains its strange appearance and why it shrugged off musket shots. Some depictions of the beast and the animal slain by Chastel suggest it resembled a striped hyena. It is possible that a striped hyena may have been in a person's private holding and then escaped. Since it was not native to France, it would have appeared unusual. However, striped hyenas are not known to attack humans. Karl Hans Take, a biologist and author of the Gévaudan tragedy, the disastrous campaign of deported beast, argues the beast may have been an immature male lion. Like the hyena, it is possible that a lion escaped from captivity. The beast reportedly was an ambush hunter that seized prey by the neck and could possibly decapitate a victim. A lion, Take argues, could exhibit these predatory behaviors. Lions have been known to prey upon humans as food sources, such as the famous case of the lions of Tsavo, in which a lion pair killed over 130 victims in under a year. Under supporting fact that is that the territory of the beast at roughly 56 by 50 miles aligns with a lion's typical range. Eyewitnesses in France at the time were likely not familiar with living lions, and what they did know about them caused from very stylized imagery. A subadult male does not have a fully developed mane and sometimes has a mohawk type of stripe running down its back. This matches descriptions of the beast by eyewitnesses, Take argues. One hunter at the time, Captain Jean-Baptiste Duhamel, wrote, "You will undoubtedly think, like I do, that this is a monster hybrid, the father of which is a lion. What its mother was remains to be seen." Among the theories considered most credible is that wolves perpetrated the attacks, as Smith tells Smithsonian. Gévaudan had a serious wolf infestation. He believes that the large lone wolves were attacking individual communities across the region, that it was a wolf pack. Wolves are native to the region and had attacked humans before. Some statistics show that wolves attacked humans 9,000 times in France between 17th and 19th centuries. In most cases, these types of attacks were by rabid wolves. There are some potential flaws to the wolf theory, including the frequency of the beast's deadly attacks, suggesting it was not a single rabid wolf. Also, none of its victims seem to have contracted rabies, suggesting that their attacker did not carry rabies. Although there are strong voices arguing multiple theories about the identity of the beast of Gévaudan, all admit that the truth will never be fully known. Without any genetic or forensic evidence, the beast of Gévaudan is bound to forever remain a mystery. Oh, that was sorry, that was a mouthful.
Wow. That
do you recognize it?
I do recognize it.
You know what it's from?
Trying to remember.
It was a show we watched. Starts with a T.
Oh.
Yep. Good show.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say too much about it because since Nick is he's been listening to the podcast. He's watching it. He's on season 5 right now.
Oh, season 5,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I've been trying to convince him to watch it for like ever, and
And now finally he's just like,
he was like, I had nothing else to watch.
all right, fair enough. I've came across a few things like that where I'm like, I got nothing else really to watch. Why not?
Yeah, but he's not there yet, so I'm not going to give too much.
That's like we just watched, and it has been out for a while.
Yeah,
this show called Ghosted.
Oh, I've heard of it. Okay,
really cool show. Only one fucking season.
That sucks.
And it left it on a cliffhanger.
God damn.
Yeah, I was pissed when we got to the end.
Well,
but it was really cool because it's just like this professor at a college. He had lost his job and he's working in a bookstore because he says his wife was abducted by aliens. Right. And then there's this mall cop who used to be can't remember which police force it was he worked for. And he lost his job and he went to just being a mall cop.
Okay.
They get recruited by this super secret government agency called the Bureau Underground.
That sounds dope.
And yeah, they're just hunting different things down. Cryptids, aliens.
It
was
like
a really cool show.
Dude, very, very similar to the Dresden Files.
Yes.
And that one only had one season too.
Right?
Like, what the fuck?
And I can't even remember who the actors were in it, but the really funny guys.
God, just the network was like, nah, not good enough.
Right? I feel like if it had been brought out these days,
it would have been accepted
on Amazon or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it would have. But
God,
when shows, because this was 5 years ago.
Jesus.
So stuff was coming out on streaming services, but now something can come out on a streaming service, and billions of people can see it, and then
Netflix originals. No, just kidding.
Netflix, Amazon,
Hulu. Oh my God. YouTube originals. Have you seen that? They're making fucking movies.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which whatever, shit.
Got to get into the money game somehow.
You might as well.
But goddamn. No, I saw this story because when I was doing some research on it, I was like, I was looking for cryptids, and then this one stumbled upon, and I was like, why does that sound so familiar? I looked it up, and I was like, God damn it, I knew it. I fucking knew it. And so now that he's watching the show again, I've been kind of like, like every now and again I'll go sit down and I'll watch a couple episodes with him, and no, it's nostalgia because we binged that together, you and I.
Yeah, we did.
Did you hear though that MTV was talking about bringing it back? No,
weren't they going to do a revamp?
That's just it. See, right now, apparently, so all the original actors totally game for it. They totally game to come back and do it. But the studio's like, well, let's, they don't know if they want to do the original characters, how they were.
Yeah.
Or they don't, like, revamp it, like, character-wise. And if it's going to do that, it's not going to be the same story. It's going to be a completely new story.
I could see not, like, revamping the series.
Yeah.
I could see doing a spin-off where, like, somewhere else.
Yeah, like fucking Styles.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to talk about too much because he's...
Right, but I could see that, and then you could have the original actors, like, do cameo appearances every so often, and then you could have your original story and new characters and everything, but still keep the nostalgia by bringing in the originals.
Well,
to me, that would be the way to go.
That would be the way to go. It's kind of like pulling a Full House. But... yeah, I know.
He died.
I know he did. But...
after his dog licked his balls.
Jesus Christ. Like, anyway, Jesus Christ.
Come on.
That was pretty good. No, they're talking about so that was one way they were talking about doing it again. The second way they were talking about is that they would keep the original characters, but they would kind of change the story of how things are, and which would be really weird to see. But the reason why they want to do it that way is because so that way they can introduce new cryptids.
Okay.
And so I would rather them do that than how they were also talking about the other way.
Well, I mean, but they could still do, like, yeah, if they just did it in another location.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be in the U.S. It could be in a different continent.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the same kind of storyline, but with different cryptids. Like, bring in different cryptids and then still bring in the original people.
I'm hoping.
That would be really cool to me. I would love to see a really good show that explores different cryptids like Teen Wolf started to.
Yeah, because they really did. They brought in a bunch of different things and aspects of cryptozoology.
Yeah.
And it was really fucking cool. And they did their research on things. They didn't just make up their own shit.
So, yeah. Speaking of research, I started watching Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Or The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, whatever it's called.
It's good.
On the History Channel. They kept saying that skinwalkers were evil and demonic.
Well, like,
they lumped all skinwalkers together. Now, to best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong, correct me, but I believe that there were some that were revered as good, and both spectrums.
So, like, from what I remember, because I remember doing skinwalkers, a lot of Native American tribes believe that they are evil because they don't believe that's the way to do things. They think that there's a different way to do it because it's a more primal, like, animal way. I don't know how to I don't know how to really explain it.
Right.
Like, it's bad. like regular skinwalkers bad. But like there's a different type of.
That's what I thought I remember, is that there's different types of skinwalkers, and that if you go one path to become a bad juju, but you could go at this other path. It's like okay,
like a spiritual thing.
Yeah, almost. I guess I would say. I don't know.
It
just drove me nuts because I didn't think I remembered them all being bad. The skinwalkers being all bad.
I don't know. I might have to look.
I'll
up.
have to double check that again.
So, tell me, you have anything special for us?
I got a couple good ones. We haven't talked about this topic in a while.
What's that?
And so I'm bringing it back because I think it's an interesting topic, and I'm always intrigued by it. So I got 3 stories covering it.
Okay, what's the topic?
I'm not gonna tell you until we get into it.
Fine.
You're just gonna find out,
fine.
all of our listeners and watchers. Yeah, you need to take that down.
Fine. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
We're gonna be talking about shadow people.
Shit. Okay.
Fuck yes. Are you ready?
Yep.
This is called My Shadow Ghost Story. I feel I have to share this story with people, if not for the peace of mind that these things are real, but for mine also. The shadow ghost I encountered was in my home in Scotland during the summer of 2012. The shadow ghost I encountered, it was a regular Saturday night for me. I was sitting alone in my living room, watching the television. I'd never been afraid of being in the house alone. The thought of any form of paranormal activity was beyond me. In fact, I'd never believed in anything paranormal until this night. The time was around 9 p.m. The advertisements came on. I decided that I would go to the bathroom and then go through the kitchen to get a drink. I got up from the chair in the living room and walked through the study, which would lead me past the stairs and to the bathroom. However, I didn't get as far as the bathroom. The moment I got to the bottom of the stairs, I stopped dead. There, so clear from the corner of my eye, was a man at the top of the stairs. Completely black, standing there very still, watching me. I couldn't see his eyes, but somehow I could feel his eyes burning into me. I knew immediately that this was someone who was not from our world. He stood with his fists clenched and his legs apart. Although this being was completely black and had no features, I could distinctively see his hair, which pointed in all directions, almost like today's modern hairstylists for men. I could also make out a belt. I don't know why I could make this out, but it seemed to jot out, like it had something in it. With all this detail I picked up on, you would think that I had watched him back for a number of minutes. On the contrary, this encounter probably lasted less than a second, but it is an image that is incredibly clear in my head. Nevertheless, though, I shook off my fear. My head instinctively turned to look at him straight on, but he'd gone. He'd completely vanished, as though he had never been there. But I know he was there. For hours after this incident, I did not feel safe. I could somehow sense that he was still watching me, even as I sat watching the television. I could also sense that he's watching me was not for purposes of good. Something sinister had happened. And ever since his arrival at the top of the staircase, I don't think he ever truly left.
That was interesting. You said this was in 2012?
2012.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. In Scotland.
In Scotland.
All right.
Yeah.
Shadow people are fucking, yeah, it's creepy.
Here we go. This is my next one. My first experience with shadow people. The first time that I'd ever encountered a shadow person was when I was very young, maybe 5 or 6. I don't remember. Back then, me and my sister shared a room, but she was, and still is, a very deep sleeper. So she didn't see any of this. When I saw him, them, do shadow people have genders? Not sure. He was standing in the doorway of our room. He looked a lot like my dad. It wasn't unusual for our dad to do this, seeing as sleep problems run in our family. I have them myself. We had those sippy cups back then, and I would always drink mine too fast and ask my dad to refill it if he checked in on us at night. When I saw him in the doorway, he was silent. I called out for him a few times, but he didn't say anything. Eventually, I asked him if he could refill my sippy cup, and I saw him move forward. Not exactly walk, more like a glide. But I didn't question it as a kid. He took the cup from next to my bed and refilled it, bringing it back. He then walked away, presumably to try and get some sleep. It was only the next morning that I found out that my dad had been working the night shift. I was surprised, to say at least. He had seemed warm and comforting, slightly tired. Just like my dad usually was. It didn't seem to mean any harm. It looked just like a human, but I never could see any defining features. Even when it was right next to my bed. Just darkness.
Okay. Oh, spoopy oopy right there.
Yeah. Whew.
Fucking
Like-
shadow people, man. Little creepy little bastards. Just
They
fucking.
they are, and that's why I was like, I needed to bring these guys in again and do a few shadow people stories,
Respect that. Respect.
keeping it spooky and
Fucking shadow people.
ooh. My last tale is called Memorable Encounter. Somewhere in the Midwest, circa 1982, when I was a child of 10 or 11 years old, my family was gathered for an evening of playing pitch at my grandparents' house. Being bored of watching and not being asked to play, and being an only child and subsequent grandchild at the time, I wandered into the living room that was set apart from the split-level home, away from the light of the dining room. My grandparents were adamant about closing the curtains at dusk for privacy. I remember leaning over the back of my grandfather's chair, pull back the heavy olive green curtain, peer outside into the darkness. What I witnessed froze me in place, unable to move or cry out. 10 or more of these shadow beings were in my grandparents' front yard, and as I swept my eyes from left to right, there were dozens more as I looked down the street. I tried to scream, "Help me!" But the harder I tried to scream, it just would not come out where anyone could hear me. I was petrified in place. About the time I understood my situation, my fear doubled down. Not only could I see them, they now noticed they were being seen. They all started moving towards the window. I gathered every ounce of my strength I could to let go of the curtains and to push my way away out of the chair and to turn and run. At first, my legs were like dead weights, but every step I took seemed to lighten my pace, quickened until I returned to the light of the dining room, where I remained until leaving. Even out of breath and shaken, no one seemed to notice, nor did I try to explain what had just happened till now. Not my last nor my first run-in, but definitely unforgettable.
God damn. You got some spoopy shit going on there. God, have you ever felt like you've seen a shadow person?
You know, probably so. I don't know that I would have known
Exactly what it was.
what it was at the time. You know, because you always like see a glimpse of something out the corner of your eye. You're like, oh, and you turn and look, and there's nothing. You know,
And apparently,
and you're like, oh, just shadow, whatever.
yeah. Or just fucking my mind playing tricks on
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I'm tired, or
Or in
the
reality, it
trick
could
of the
just-
lighting or something. You know, you always try to rationalize it. Your brain does.
And then in reality, it's just something a lot creepier than that.
Right. Well, and the thing is that they say that if you let them know that you notice them, basically,
They start fucking with you.
they start coming in more. It's almost like opening up the doorway and inviting them in, kind of thing.
Can I bitch slap one? Just be like, get the fuck out of here. Just give it some stupid ass name.
You know, I wonder if you could physically touch one. Like, out of all these stories I've seen, I don't know that I've seen any where somebody's actually touched one.
You know, there's one thing that was really interesting to me. So have you ever heard of Nuke's Top 5? It's this channel on YouTube who he goes over ghosts
Okay.
and who people send in videos of like ghost encounters and stuff like that, and so he goes over them, and he's got like these really cool editing skills that like shows things, so he slows things down or
Okay.
he enhances the imaging. And anyway, there's this dude that it just reminded me of this, who he claims that his house is fucking completely haunted,
Okay.
and so it's a bunch of shadow people. And so there's this one where like it almost seems like it was like some practical sort of trick. I don't know how to
Okay.
really explain it, but it was like a window, like kind of like behind you with like a curtain.
Mhm.
You could see the light through the curtain, but you could see this black mass of something, and he's got his video on it, and he's showing it, and then he's like, I see you right there, you need to come out from behind there. And then and it was like a piece of fucking clothing almost, like, and it was like physically touching shit, and going through and then fucking disappeared. It was like
Damn.
really weird. So to me, what like physically touching it, I feel like you should be able to touch it. If it can move shit, why not?
Yeah. If it, well, I don't know, because there's accounts of ghosts moving something across the table, paranormal stuff, pictures being thrown down off of walls, but you can't touch them.
Well, okay, hold up. What if you can't touch a ghost because it's not showing you visibility of itself?
Okay.
But when like those videos of like, oh, I'm looking behind me, there's nothing there, and then like you see like something pop up behind them. What if you like in that instant turned around and just fucking bopped it side the fucking head and be like, bitch, get out of my video. Like
you weren't even welcome here.
Yeah, motherfucker, like
ruining my shot.
I don't need your goddamn cameo. Get the fuck out of here. No, there's
it would be interesting.
Because you think about it, and it's the laws of what is it? I don't. There's some like term that I've heard of like that. I don't know. I just feel like you should be able to touch it. There's got to be a time where you're able to physically touch a ghost or something like that. Because if it can physically touch you, that means that like theoretically you should be able to touch it back.
Right. Yeah.
That's my opinion. If it can move a fucking spoon or a knife or whatever and throw in
my
silverware,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing.
Just grabbing it feels like a sheet and just like.
Right. Yeah. What kind of sheet does it feel like?
Goddamn! Get your silk filling ass over here. Just throw it in the washer. Just fucking grabbing it and just
get over here.
Just take this, Tide Pods, go. Just start drowning it. Just fucking dragging that thing. All right, you gonna talk now, bitch? Quick, get the downy.
Oh shit.
Sorry, that was a weird example, but
what if it worked the other way around?
Like the dryer?
No. Just the washing machine.
Okay.
What if you're throwing in, like, you're doing laundry, you're washing sheets.
Okay.
And you throw in sheets, and all of a sudden, one of them comes up out like a shadow person.
Okay, well, okay. So you're saying it comes out like this? Doesn't your washer open like this?
Yeah, you wash it out of wood.
No, I mean yours the washer at the house. At my house.
We have a top load.
Yeah, we have a bottom one.
Okay, so maybe you walk out the other way.
No, you just fucking go like this, pop, 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 and just fucking get in there, bitch. Like, just don't fuck with it. Same thing with like at my house. I just pop, 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 and just fucking smack that little bastard. It's trying to get out of there. No, I'm gonna use you like fabric softener, and you're gonna clean my clothes. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's exactly what's gonna happen. The fuck you. If it starts coming out, that's just gonna be weird as shit. Like that scene on The Conjuring where the wind and she's got like the thing.
Yeah.
And she's oof, and it stops, and it's a person. Fucking come here, just wrap it around there, dry my goddamn sheet. See, I don't get scared about stuff like this anymore. Like I find it more like if I feed fear into it, I'm just giving it what it wants, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, so, no, I agree. But there are definitely situations that you can get yourself into that can creep you out, and you're like, I need to get the fuck out.
I think, like, certain situations, like Nick and I have talked about, I would just need a second to, like, walk outside really fast and get my bearings, figure out and understand what's going on, and then be like, okay. And then I would go back in, and I'll be like, okay, this is actually happening, and now I can assess the situation as it needs to be.
Okay. And well, like, for me, I was always the same way. It's like, yeah, no, fuck this. Like, I'm always like the logical thinker, like, okay, this thing fell over. What is there draft? Is it by a window? What would have made it fall over, right?
Yeah.
But when we went to that cemetery where Ed and Lorraine are buried.
Yeah.
There was a really uneasy, weird, just creepy vibe from that place.
Yeah.
And I know cemeteries aren't like warm and inviting anyways. But there was noises, like somebody humming almost, that we could hear. And it wasn't like, kind of like what we've talked about before, you go looking for these things or whatever, that you don't necessarily want to turn to the person next to you and be like, did you just hear that? Like, because then, a lot of times people will be like,
well, yeah, no, that's scientifically proven that.
So I didn't say anything. I heard it and I was like, what the fuck? And then I waited, and then other people in our group were like, did that just happen? Like they all, and then I waited for them to describe what they had heard.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing that I heard. I was like, okay, we're hearing the same thing. That's legitimate.
So you're like, check. Okay.
I'm like, check. That's legitimate. We're all three hearing the same things. And while, yeah, honestly, you don't want to be the first person to be like, yeah, I heard it, and it was like this. And then everybody else is like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain sometimes. You want to talk to the other people that are with you and be like, dude, did you fucking see that? Like,
yeah, but you also don't want to make people think that you're not fucking with them.
Right.
I get that.
And so there was that, and that was towards the back of the cemetery. And this is a really, really old cemetery.
I remember you telling me. See,
yeah, and so from there on, I'm like, I don't know. A little more, feel a little different about it, I guess I'd say. Because there's definitely a couple scenarios that I've been in within the past couple years where I'm like, that's just uneasy feeling,
No, it's I can understand that, and I can agree with you on an uneasy feeling about it, but I don't feel the necessity to get scared about it. Like, it's one thing if it's and see, I've had this conversation with him before too about this. Like, if it's a physical thing that I can touch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. Like, you going up against, let's say, a demon, like, right? Scary. It looks awfully bad and probably can hurt you in some way. Are you gonna outrun a demon?
No, you can't. I mean,
no, exactly. What? Okay, and like, here's my logic to this, and it I don't get scared that often anymore. Like, I except for like video games, like I feel more immersed in it. But I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I've seen those videos.
Shut up. Anyway, no, but like with this, it's like it doesn't. I don't know. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die anyway. Like, fuck it. I might as well just go die swinging. And another thought on it is that if it's something that I could physically touch, why not try to touch it?
You're like a fucking toddler.
I'll put my hand on the stove a couple times. It's fine.
Like,
no,
come here, little shadow person. Let me fill you up.
Get the downy, quick!
Oh no, there's Shadow Dick.
Woo!
Oh man,
God did not bless you. No, but
no, I get it.
I just don't. I don't feel terrified with like paranormal things anymore, because like I'm more concerned with the fact that I would rather prove its existence than worry about the fear of seeing it and experiencing it. So so me personally, yeah, if it scared me, or if it just creeped me out a little bit, okay, that's fine. I would walk out of the cemetery if it was me. Walk out of the cemetery, I'd take a deep breath. Okay, this is real. This is happening. Record whatever I need to do and just go back out there and be like, all right, well, anybody want to talk to me? Hello?
Yeah, well, and then that's where towards the end we and like I said, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I've got this ghost hunting little app thing,
yeah.
Right? And like I said, we've talked about it before, where I don't put a lot of stock in it. It's a program. It does its own thing. Like, it could be set to be programmed to occasionally throw up words or whatever, right?
Okay, so is it kind of like the one? Does the word pop up right here? Yes. Or does it pop up right there?
Pops up in the blue box.
Let's for experience sake, I almost dropped your phone like an asshole.
Jesus Christ.
Let's just say, is there any spirits in here? Can anybody hear us? Nothing's popping up.
Yeah, it's weird to me. Like I said, I don't put a lot of stock in those things.
No, I get that.
Because it's a computer program.
Yeah, but then like
when mine and a friend of mine's both say similar things to leave, get out, it just it just adds to that. Especially the fact that it was like 3 in the fucking morning.
I just want to see something. Is there something that attached itself to Tristan? Is there something that followed him from what's that place called?
Just New England.
New England. Is there something here that would like to make a presence known? Hello?
Yeah.
Is there any way to like...
What do you want?
Microphone signal pitch. Oh, okay. Oh no, I'm just looking at stuff. I don't know, maybe you try it. What was that? An ad?
No, my wife's calling me.
Oh no! From the unknown!
Oh man. Is there anyone there?
What's that noise? That EMF?
Yes.
Is it going off? Grind. That's what I've been doing on Twitch every Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Yeah, this ghost knows.
So for some reason it deleted
working?
my history from the past.
Oh. Or maybe it just like auto updates.
Yeah.
And just...
That could be.
Interesting.
So it's an interesting app. And so we had that and it was going.
Yeah.
And when, like I said, it's a computer program. I know algorithms and all that crap play a part. And it always threw me off because it made me see like, okay, yeah, that could be fake. Because 90% of the time people who download that stuff
or at some creepy ass location.
Well, no, they download it and they want to believe so much that there's something there, right? That they put their stock in that little app, and so creators of the app could put it in to where, okay, well, every 30 seconds a word pops up.
Or something. No, like the coding in it, you can make it to where it's like, once in a blue moon and different timing.
Yeah,
no, I get
exactly. And so that's where I was at with that.
So you were like, oh, yeah, whatever.
So I don't put much stock in. But then when his and mine both said, leave now, get out. Like mine said, get out. His said, leave now.
That's kind of...
We were both like, okay, because there were some other words being said. There were some names.
Like what?
Like Jonathan or something like that. Just the name. I was like, well, I'd look by nearby tombstones to see if somebody nearby was named that. Kind of thing, but it was such a generic name that anybody in that fucking cemetery could have had the name. Kind of thing,
Yeah, no, I feel.
So I'm like, whatever.
What's your last name?
Right? Yeah. North or south? Which direction to you? Like, So I don't put a lot of stock in those.
I feel.
I really don't. But with the uneasy feeling that we had there, and both of our apps, ghost hunting app things, said the same thing. I'm like,
you're like,
like, oh, it's getting pretty late anyways. Let's head out.
That's fair.
But it was definitely an uneasy feeling in that graveyard.
See, we just gotta bring some equipment and go back.
Yes, I would love to get some actual equipment, actual EMF type equipment. Not an app, but an actual device.
An actual spare bunks.
Yeah, go to these haunted locations.
Yeah.
And just see what happens. I would be more susceptible to believing if I had the equipment myself, or we had the equipment and went and saw it. These ghost hunting shows, I have a hard time believing that they're real. I believe a lot of it is staged.
Ghost Adventures definitely got proven to be fake. And they which is weird because they're coming back after years of fucking what was it? They I don't know, they left because they got proven that they were faking episodes. And I don't know why they brought them back. I don't know why that network was like, oh,
there is one ghost hunting show I haven't watched yet, or movie. And I'm going to watch it. I have it.
It's the one that you were telling me about.
Yes,
yeah.
With Kane Hodder. And he comes across as no nonsense. Yeah, he's kind of like us. Kind of believes, but doesn't at the same time. Like,
yeah.
Needs to see it for himself.
Yeah.
And fair. So I want to watch it and see how this goes and see what kind of reactions, because he's not going to pull punches. He's not going to
bullshit anything.
Yeah, he's not going to bullshit. He's not going to fake anything.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair. I want to go to these places where the videos are like fucking, you hear noises like, right, or like shit throwing everywhere, like things opening.
Yes.
I want to go to like these aggressive places that like.
I want to see something. I want to see like that fucking traffic cone falling over. Like, I don't want it thrown at my head per se, but I want to see it fall over or move across the floor.
If it was just fucking,
something. That's the kind of stuff I want to see.
Not fair.
But I want to get that equipment, and I want to go out and just see what we can find.
I'm down. 1,000% down. But I think
we're kind of at the end, though. I mean, we could go on and on and on about this, but I'm sure our listeners and everybody else, they kind of got stuff that they probably want to do now. Go see their own ghosts.
No, definitely right now. Here's your reminder right now, ladies and gentlemen. I would like you guys to, if you guys especially enjoyed this video or any of our other videos, definitely go. I want you to subscribe, maybe like the video, and ring the fucking notification bell. Fucking ring-a-ling-ding that bell.
Yeah, so you get notified every time we post a new one, which is weekly, usually.
Exactly. And that's what we want you to do.
You don't want to miss out on any of the spooky stuff or any of our bullshit shenanigans making fun of each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Laundry ghosts.
While we take our stories serious, we don't take the whole podcast serious. I mean, obviously, we have fun.
We have fun. Ooh. You don't know what goes on under this table. We're making it sound like a midget's under there, just like...
Couple midgets.
Machine. Anyway,
please submit stories, encounters. Yeah. We would love to hear from you.
Cryptid fan art.
Send
that shit in on the Facebook page, please.
Yes, we want to see it.
So fuck yeah.
And any of your cryptid, ghost, demonic, any of your paranormal type stories.
Submit.
You have one that personally happened to you. Submit it to us. We will tell it on the show. We will leave your name out if you so request as much.
Yeah.
But we wanna find more stories, or even if it's not something that happened to you directly.
A friend.
If it's just a story that you know of that we haven't even talked about, or a cryptid that you know of that we haven't talked about, submit it.
Yeah, I'm 100% game for all that.
Let us know.
Oh yeah. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you guys.
I'll see you later. Goodbye.